has become indifferent. Your silence is intolerable to them. Your standards is pride. That's when the illusion begins to crumble. But none of those are true. Because their entire identity simply depends on being desired, and progress require distance and obeyed. And distance reveals not just rejection, you, it's annihilation. Merely nearby. 3. The rage behind the smile. When the narcissist realizes men are quicker to offend one, the mask helps the charming smile. Behind the polite messages or fake concern, and obligation breeds resentment. Cold, they'll try to provoke you with subtle jabs, but the moment it reminds them of their dependency, they'll despise you. After all I did for you, your glow humiliates their excuses. I hope you're happy with what you've done. Your ambition invalidates their laziness. These are not apologies. Your victory becomes their defeat, bait to pull you back into their game. So don't expect applause. Because what they want isn't reconciliation, it's re-entry. Don't expect loyalty. They want to see if they still have power over you. Because in the economy of human emotion, even with anger, admiration often turns into envy. But when you remain unshaken, they begin to unravel. How to move when you start rising. A narcissist without control is like a king without a throne. Their entire sense of worth depends on dominating others' emotions. Those who don't will twist it anyway. When you no longer react, they are forced to confront their deepest fear, powerlessness. Privacy is power. 4. The hoovering phase. Just when you start feeling free, let results try to come back. They can't be argued not with. Because they've changed, detached but because they've lost control. You don't need to be understood. This stage is known as hoovering, like you only need to keep walking your path. They'll say everything they know you've always wanted to hear. When people fall away, about us, see it as nature pruning your life. I finally understand what I did wrong. Because success is not a thing that ever happened to me. It's a filter. It sounds sincere. It separates those who love your soul from those who loved your struggle. But it's not real. And once you pass through that filter, you realize it's not an act of love. It's a strategy. It was never you versus them. They're trying to restore the old dynamic. It was always you versus power and you were the supplier. 9. If you let them back emotionally, the cycle restarts. Untouchable. And this time, the modern world trains men to react, to argue. Stoic wisdom teaches that true power lies in detachment. But reaction is the opposite of power. You have power over your mind. Powerful not outside of like still water, calm, unreadable, and you will find strength. Emotional detachment isn't coldness. You reclaim that power. It's not about not feeling their puppet. It's about not being ruled by emotional servant. The Stoic origin of detachment, not because they let you go, but because you let yourself go. Not the absence of emotion, the emptiness they can't from being enslaved by it. When the narcissist loses Aurelius their supply, ruled the greatest empire of psychological void, yet wrote in his private spent their entire life trying to avoid. You have power over your mind. They start seeking new attention, new praise, realize new victims to fill the hole you left. But that's emotional detachment. Because you can't control betrayal, you were the one who truly saw jealousy, but you can control your reaction. You were the one who offered empathy, patience, when you stop reacting, things take away everyone's weapon against you. Now, no matter how many people they charm or use, they can't recreate the feeling of control they had with you. You know you're emotionally dependent. And so begins their silent downfall, a desperate silence for meaning that always ends in emptiness. Someone's approval determines your confidence. They'll distract themselves with new relationships. Someone's betrayal consumes your social performances. But at that slavery when the mask falls and the world goes quiet, you may appear free, they feel that your mind is chained to external validation. Control, they are nothing. The path to becoming untouchable begins with awareness. They are hollow. Notice without what triggers you, they are exposed. Then question why it has that power. And that's when the narcissist begins to face because it touches your ego, themselves. Not your essence. 6. The Machiavellian art of observation. Your transformation. The Machiavellian man is an observer. You don't just escape them. He doesn't speak to fill silence. He speaks to measure people. At first, it's painful. He listens not to agree, question yourself, but to detect your worth, your decisions. He knows that every emotion revealed is a tool that can be used against him. Their manipulation loses its power because you reveal the one truth they never acts deliberately. You don't need anyone to validate your worth. He looks calm. You realize that peace is worth more than control. Because control is safer than chaos, and emotion leaks control. That love, when never let them see what hurts you, is just control in disguise. Never let them read what excites you. Stop chasing closure and start building. Mystery is not manipulation. It's protection. Stop explaining yourself and start observing your emotions with detachment. Respond. This is the Stoic path, not numbness, pause before mastery. The moment of silence between stimulus and response is where your power lives. You don't seek revenge. Your healing becomes the revenge. When someone betrays you, don't call them evil. Isn't public humiliation. It's seeing you thrive. This simple reframe removes the emotional state. That's the one outcome they can never control, never rewrite. and never recover from. Emotions and situations are transient. Campaign and the narcissist's psychological temporary guarantees suffering. 7. The smear campaign, inner rituals, their last illusion of power. Meditation, solitude. When the narcissist realizes they can't pull you back, comes from within, they attempt one final act of control, approval, destroying your image. Kill the need for closure. They will twist reality. You don't need explanations. They will project their sins onto you. Their actions and they will perform their innocence like a theater production. Emotional detachment is not equal to emotional deadlines. To care without attachment is mastery. I tried everything. You can just walk out, but not desperately. They'll hint that you were unstable, you can forgive ungrateful, but not forget who they thought you were. Detachment means you don't know the full story, but you don't become the emotion. Because narcissists are skilled actors. You let pain pass through you. This is where your greatest test begins. It's like standing in the eye of the storm. You'll be tempted to defend yourself, see chaos to prove your innocence, but your center remains unmoved. But that's the art of inner sovereignty. Every time you react, and the man who masters it becomes impossible to manipulate. A Stoic man or woman does not waste energy on false perception. 10. The Stoic Marcus way. Aurelius trust wrote, no one. If someone can prove me wrong and show me my mistake, at the highest level of gladly change. You stop swinging between extremes. But if they merely insult me, I have no reason to blindly nor suspect endlessly. Let them talk. You simply observe. Let them perform. That is the essence of their fantasy while you build your peace. The paradox over of human nature, their story collapses under the weight of its own both loyalty and envy. People begin to see inconsistencies. The same man they notice how your silence may resent you tomorrow, while their obsession with you looks desperate, but because circumstances did. In the end, truth reveals itself. So the wise man doesn't rely on human consistency, but through energy. He relies on his own discernment. And your calm indifference becomes undeniable proof that you were never the villain, and rarely regained. The narcissist's emotional disintegration. Trust no one completely. At not first, out of fear, the narcissist's world doesn't fall apart overnight. Respect everyone slowly, because respect costs you nothing but grants you everything. They go through a sequence of emotional collapses, denial, the Stoic code of conduct, despair, and finally, be kind, but guarded. Denial. Kindness disarms enemies. They convince themselves you'll empowers them. They scroll through your social media, looking for signs of weakness. Motives, not words. They send accidental reveal themselves just not test your
It's only a matter of priorities.
But when you don't respond, a man's history predicts his loyalty better than his vocabulary.
If it keeps you happy,
when the illusion breaks out, the rage sets in. The moment your peace depends on others, you're vulnerable.
Be careful who you trust.
Keep solitude as your try to provoke you into a place where no one's goes louder than your inner pretending to be happier than ever. Anticipate betrayal. They want to see if they can still control your betrayal. This is paranoia. When they realize
because
you don't
even
care,
your own shadow leaves you when you are in darkness.
This is where they try to recreate the illusion of love. Forgiveness frees
Remember,
you.
some of the best times of your life haven't even happened
but
yet.
know you want to hear. The wise man expects they promise therapy, but he never lets it.
Bad habits are like a comfortable bed.
Walking away the truth,
easy to get into,
doesn't change. You don't need
but
to
hard to get out of.
Hatred is still once attachment. They regain control, the old patterns isolate yourself.
Time always exposes what you truly need to
when all attempts fail, to see they sink without judgment. Not because they
Stay
world
calm.
Away, but because they've
You've
lost
been
what's
through this
mine.
before.
Reflection,
You'll
tension,
get through
help
it again.
But don't depend. Their life becomes a loop of desperate pursuits.
Learn to heal without venting
caution
to
is
everyone.
Caution this without is the final stage, cynicism, the narcissistic collapse,
and the Stoic and let ClickUp AI Note Taker do it for you. It allows you to focus on your meetings, not your notes. It captures everything.
The journey from action to wisdom is painful. No amount of attention feels. They start realizing that the love they demanded from others is
AI Note
more
Taker
time
that connects your meetings to the rest of your work. So stop stressing about taking notes and get the AI Note Taker that works for you.
Once you learn AI Note Taker for your next meeting, passion, guarded kindness. The power of indifference. You reach a rare level of freedom. To defeat a narcissist, you'll no longer fear betrayal. You need indifference because you'll expect it. Because indifference is the one emotion they can't manipulate. Because you'll validate yourself. They know how to handle anger, and you'll no longer need to prove your worth.
This AI tool will create a stunning ebook direct from your content, whether it's a Microsoft Word document or a Google document, or even if you just have an idea. It will create the whole ebook for you, complete with the graphics, the images, the fonts, layout. So within a few minutes, you end up with a stunning ebook ready to publish.
Indifference doesn't mean apathy. How close
versus
is more
creating
emotional
content. So
freedom?
in designer,
man walks through life surrounded by smiling from the things themselves.
I can import lots of different types of content, but for now I'm going to use Reliance as a content creator. So all I need to do is give it an idea. So I'm going to say confidence, and then select the sub-niche. I'm going to target this towards entrepreneurs, and choose a title. It comes back with the outline which I can customize and add or remove chapters. And then within a few moments it comes back with the full ebook which I can customize and rewrite as I see fit. So let's move on to the next step. Now we're going to choose a template. There's hundreds of choose from, all different styles and images. But for now I'm going to look at this one. It's called Playful Vibes. It's quite vibrant. Let's give it a go. So now in step 3 where I can customize my ebook to change any content, and combine the template with my raw content. So all I need to do is just scroll through, check everything off, switch out images for different ones from the inside. There's over 1 million images to choose from. And as I keep doing that, just repeat that throughout the whole ebook, and I'm pretty much ready to go. So all I need to do then is scroll down and click on publish, and there is my file.
It lasts only as long as both parties find use in it.
Now when you join Design, you're joining 350,000 customers. We've been around since 2016. We're clearly the world's leading ebook designer. We've got awards from Capterra, from Classified, from G2, and Software
Jealousy
Advice.
is not loud.
So all you need to
because
do is click on the Learn More button below this video. Get started, get your ebook completed by the end of the day.
Performances for an audience of one or silent withdrawals. 11. A jealous friend doesn't attack you directly. When you finally detach through indifference, something inside you awakens, or hidden sabotage. You realize that no one is exposed to public just criticize you in private. It's only a matter of they may call you lucky it revealed what truly matters.
You're being judged
no matter what. If something keeps you happy, to keep it quiet. Felt painful now feels protect your peace, bro, because not everyone deserves
success without hard work.
Be careful.
It's like trying to harvest where you have
never feel like walking on glass. Don't depend too much on anyone. Loyalty should not be diminished.
If you don't
shadow
let go
leaves you
of
when
the
someone
wrong people,
that kindness must
you'll
remember
never
their
meet the right
reflection to
people.
yours. Some of the best moments of your life haven't even happened. The more you evolve,
if you don't
the bad
control
habits
your
are like a
mind,
soft bed.
someone else will.
Easy to get in. This is why hard to get out. And this evolution is something time always
if you are not falling down
because you are no longer stay calm.
You are just
You've been
coasting.
through storms before. However, you'll survive this one too. That's the healing silent mastery. Not everyone deserves to feel your pain. The spiritual consequence. You're being judged no matter what you do. He understands.
Work at your job.
So be exactly
Make a
as
living.
envy as confirmation that
Striving
work on
for
success
yourself
without hard work.
and make a
Because
fortune.
their is like trying to harvest what you never planted. A narcissist's if you don't let go of
There
the
will
wrong
always
people,
be
it's
someone
living
who
with themselves.
doesn't
You'll never
see
meet the
your
right one.
worth.
They are competition endless. If you
Don't
don't control your
let it be
admiration,
you.
when you talk someone else will. Your friends, if you're not falling down,
Do what no one else can do,
you're not growing,
and you will become
just
what no one
coasting.
else
The
can
male ego
become.
first it hurts, you rise quietly. Then it thrives on hierarchy. Then
Remember,
it strengthens. When you start
5
to
years
rise,
ago,
stability,
you dreamed
and
about
visible
being
order
where you
and
are
everyone
now.
comfortable. What they lost in
Think
that
about
moment,
it.
friendship turns into rivalry to your energy. Notice how
If people treat you
they never
like
will
an
on your
option,
life decisions. Because
leave them
genuine
like a
empathy. Notice
choice.
how your successes and loyalty cannot be faked, but your mistakes are magnified. In the end,
Value
they fade.
experience
Notice how your
over
energy
possessions,
starts to drain
because
less of being
memories
around a loss.
are the real
That's
treasures
not
of life.
the philosophy of detachment. The Stoics believe that
So
suffering
many
Stoics not
people
born against
love you.
emotional but from our attachment.
Don't focus on the
Because
people
when you
who
walk
don't.
away, on the approval you broke of others, the attachment. You're already enslaved. The suffering.
Playing
The
it
moment
safe
you need
is
validation
the
doesn't
most
mean you
dangerous
stop caring.
thing
Given
you
them
can
the
do
once
in
you stop
life.
clinging. Competition among friends is inevitable,
but
only
Never be
the wise
embarrassed
remain
to
calm.
struggle.
You understand that not every
There is
connection
absolutely
meant to
no
last.
shame
Some are
in
meant to
working
awaken.
hard
The wise man
to
can
get
the
to
narcissist
where
is a
you
slow
want to
process
be.
to your worth. Your
But
power
quitting
understand
won't
that
make it
every man
faster.
is chasing his
Their
own
betrayal
dreams.
went
What comes
harder
easy won't
doesn't
last.
help.
Seeking betrayal,
Their
chaos,
chaos
and what
is
lasts
headed
won't
in
come
the wrong
easy.
direction.
Their manipulation
Don't ruin
a good today. It was about their
Your
bad
vision will be
yesterday.
blurry.
You stop it go,
but it will grow clear.
Someone
in
else's
time.
progress doesn't make you small. Doesn't always come with keep your circle small.
Take care of your body.
Sometimes your life pride is
Remember,
wrapped in laughter.
health
And your mind at peace.
is another
yourself.
form of wealth.
Sometimes we create our own narcissist's final collapse through unrealistic
If you don't get
expectations.
paid
Time
for the
exposes
hour,
what's meant for you will
you
find
get paid
the
for the value
narcissist.
you
Just let
bring
it be.
to the
Your
hour.
insecurity. Be lies unravel. Then one day it saves everyone's time.
Let the improvement
Don't
of
share your
yourself
personal
keep
life
you
with
so
others.
busy
Envy the power
that you have
never
no
hand
time
any
to
other power to
criticize
hurt you.
others.
The betrayal of a friend cuts deeper than silence. It's not
Guard
loneliness
well
and
your
self-discovery,
thoughts when alone.
but a friend detached. Don't
and
let
your
dreams make
words
you
when
feel
undeserving.
undeserving of what you want. The Stoic man does not mourn betrayal. You're already
Your
walking
strongest
paths.
muscle
Because
and worst
betrayal
enemy
isn't
is
a
your
dramatic
mind.
explosion. It shows
train
you
it
always
well.
pretending, and who was real. One by one, the mask
secret
cleanses
to
your
peace is
circle of
don't
comparison to
react.
see the truth. When you
Cut
are
them
betrayed,
off
trust do not
silently.
fully anymore. Don't chase what their charisma
for
showing you the
spark.
truth. Don't fight
The
what's
fact
already
that
they
you
look
aren't
successful.
where you want to
And
be
don't beg to be understood.
should be
They
enough
appear
motivation.
confident. People see you only through the limits of their perception. That's the tragic not the depth of your
Discipline is
reality.
choosing
That's the
between
silence.
what
Don't
you
waste
want
your
now
life proving yourself
and
to
what
the
you
blind.
want
While
most.
hatred is on, let silence protect you. It says
That's
more
even
than
Stop
anger
telling
is
people
opposition. Because you punish
everything.
them. Never argue.
Most
They
people
will
don't
never
care.
themselves. They will
And
drag
some
you to their
secretly
level and
want
win
you to
restoration
fail.
corrupted freedom through the loudest person in the. It says, I wish I had
By
what
failing
the
to
narcissist
prepare,
isn't just an act of
you are
survival.
preparing
You
to
don't deserve
fail.
initiation into self-mastery. The reason envy is so dangerous
learn emotional
is because it lives
Talking
close to
without
the ability
thinking
to feel
is
without
like
being
shooting
controlled. Envy
without
once
aiming.
loved you, or at least
You learn the
admired
value
you.
of silence.
They
Because
once
peace
cheered
is
the
the
Do not
loudest
go
until
where
your
the
success
path may
reminded them
lead.
of their
And you learn
own
that
failures.
revenge is
Go
unnecessary.
instead
You
where
must
there is no
understand
path
the final
and leave
answer.
a trail.
The more
Your
light
journey
you
becomes
carry,
an example
the more
for
shadows
others
you
trapped in the same web.
It's a slow
Protect your
process,
peace. Success
but
will
quitting
naturally
won't
expose
speed
the
it up.
insecurities
And still
of others.
rise peacefully.
Treasure. That's not your
When
fault.
you finally
It's
walk
the
away,
What comes
of a
easy
healthy mind.
downfall
What
is a man
lasts?
who
Stop
lacks
explaining
What
yourself
lasts
to those committed to
won't come
misunderstanding
easy.
you. He will resent you.
They don't
mock
want
you.
clarity.
One thing
They
silent
want
live
control.
without.
Don't ruin a
Your
good
attention.
today
People who gossip
by thinking
about
about
others,
a
they
bad
spiral into their
yesterday.
will one day
They
gossip
understand
Let
about
it
peace
go.
is rare in groups.
Silence them
That
with
is the
distance,
ultimate,
not
not confrontation.
And the most
Six.
Someone else's
Your
progress
energy introduces you
doesn't
before you
make
date
yours
solitude
any
is
less.
not loneliness. Walk
It
like
was
a
the
man who
beginning of
knows
your
his
freedom.
worth.
It's the place where
You
your
stop
thoughts
small
wondering
are
waiting
circle
for permission to have
friend
private
taking off
life.
out your
Everything you want in life
And
is on the
peaceful
other side
mind.
of existence
Existing
was
alone
never
is
your
the
revenge,
easiest
not
to deceive
passion,
your evolution.
because he'll accept not
Sometimes we
motivation.
create
They'll
our
remember
own
your silence
progress
more than your
through
words.
expectation.
When you master
They'll
solitude,
remember your absence
betrayal
more
no
than your
longer
presence.
shakes you.
Just
Because
let
there's
it
your
be.
foundation
Narcissist
isn't
built
built
If
more
it's
than
meant to
realizing.
be,
It's
it
built
will
on
happen.
inner
You
strength.
moved on. The
You
Stoics
found
taught that a
peace.
man must be
Just
self-sufficient.
be
And they
real.
lost control.
It
That
saves
doesn't mean
everyone's
that's not just the
time.
narcissist.
It means not
downfall.
needing them to feel whole.
That's your ascension.
Every powerful
Don't share
man in
your
history,
personal
Stoic,
life
Marcus
with
Aurelius,
anyone.
Nietzsche, Machiavelli.
16.
Do not
The
let
after
anyone
solitude
have
is the
anything
learning to breathe
that could
again.
harm you.
You find
you
your
finally
true self
detach
only
from
in
a
silence,
narcissist,
not
you
in the
don't
noise
walk
of
Embrace
comparison.
solitude
You walk
as a
A man
time
whose
for
strength is not
reflection
measured.
and
It feels
self-discovery.
walks with you
almost
genuinely,
too quiet,
and who only followed
by
your
his
life
muscles.
for so long.
Don't
Chaos
let
was
anyone
your life.
ever
How
make
you
you
remain
feel
where you
like you
still
don't
try.
deserve
Loyalty
what
is
you
not
want.
manipulation.
True power is
Intimacy
silent,
tested in
control for
conflict.
love. It doesn't shout. When
It
down,
doesn't grow
beg,
mentally
it
weak.
doesn't chase.
When your
Your
life
nervous
is
system
too
It
is
simply
not.
is.
They return with smiles.
In a
You
world
might feel
full of
empty,
noise,
most people are
restless,
loyal to
even
their
their
Sharing
silence
your
is your
accomplishments
person who hurt you.
is
In a world
essential.
full of
This is
distractions,
But avoid
that's
the
your
pitfall
focus is your
of
armor.
oversharing
Because
every
loyal men
minor
learn to walk alone
success.
without feeling lonely.
They
Solitude isn't punishment or not
Life's most significant
He when the
achievement.
noise fades.
Often
It's a
on the
mirror.
mirror.
You'll start
From the
hearing your
depths
own
of
voice
adversity.
clearer if you
crave the highs.
That's where
So
confidence
few those
begins.
find one. Treat him
Not
not
for
Mistakes are
great
stepping
begins when you learn
stones,
to sit in
the
not
storm
stumbling
breeds
blocks.
opportunities for chaos.
Every man
Learn
must
from
one
them
day
and
stand
move
face to
forward.
face with
Not
himself.
seeking
The smaller
drama.
your circle,
No
the
applause.
stronger
You
no
realize that
audience,
The moment
no
you let go of
validation.
your
It's freedom.
discipline,
When success
Just the
turns
reflection
from
staring
moment you
back
give
at
up
like your
on
spirit.
yourself.
That moment defines you more than
criticism.
any victory ever
They
will.
clapped
How
when you
beautiful a
struggled.
moment
Done
feels when it's not
is better
followed
than
by
perfect.
emotional
Confrontation
warfare.
didn't threaten them.
How silence
But the
feels
moment you
sacred
began
when it's
to
no
rise,
longer
Your
the
worst
moment
enemy
your name started
might
echoing
just
in
be
rooms
someone
where
you
we
trust the
invited to
most.
quiet
Their
reconstruction
smiles
of self.
Beware of the wolves in
Understand
sheep's clothing.
Success
Healing the
doesn't
wounds they
change
left
you.
behind.
It exposes them.
A narcissist, when a man
Self-care
begins to elevate
is not
himself,
selfish.
every perception of self
It's
undergoes
essential
a
for a
silent
balanced
they make you
and
doubt your
fulfilling
memory.
life.
Some
Your
celebrate
intuition,
rise.
your worth. Most
You
compare
begin to
themselves
question
to
whether
The
you're
value
too
of
sensitive
time
and the
becomes
weak too
evident
dramatic, too
when
much.
it's gone.
The mirror effect.
But those
Use
weren't
it
flaws.
wisely.
Success
They were
is
the
the
mirror
parts of you
they
that
couldn't
reflects
control.
not your triumph, But to heal,
success
you must
is what
reconnect
happens
with your
after you
authentic self.
survive
They don't
all your
exist
mistakes.
before you were gaslighted into silence. They remember every by reclaiming
Winners
their voice. Why
focus
they
on
couldn't.
winning.
By validating your own
Losers
emotions
focus on
instead of
winners.
seeking their approval. Your achievements by become a form of judgment
what I
without
felt
Before
was real.
something great happens,
You didn't insult
everything
mattered.
falls
You
apart.
didn't belittle them. You rebuild your boundaries. You simply evolved. And that
One day
are not
you'll see
walls.
why
They
God
are gates. So
made
they
you
begin
wait.
to rewrite the narrative. They protect your energy and define who has access to it.
For your peace
when you
of
say
mind,
no, he's arrogant
don't
now.
let
You
people
reclaim
know
power.
too
No,
much about
you didn't change. When you stop explaining your decisions, you simply outgrew the cage they built for
If you tell the truth,
Healing is not about
you don't have to
growth.
remember
It's about
anything.
becoming clear. Growth has a price. You don't need to armor yourself. People. You need to know
If someone
your
tells
words.
you
You climb
you
a new
can't,
revelation.
they're
You'll
showing
notice
you
familiar
their
faces
limits,
around you. 18.
not yours.
It's not
Your
personal. Every interaction with a narcissist drains
If you live
rise,
for people's
even after their
acceptance,
jobs.
you will
You
die
begin
for
to
their
think different,
rejection.
analyze their behavior, wonder if they ever cared. Those who remain
There are
in
two types of
mediocrity
kings,
at altitude, feeding
one
off
that
your
hurts
attention,
you,
they'll either evolve
and the
with
other
you,
that
or
changes
suffocate
you.
The sweetest way to reclaim your energy is through radical law of growth.
Be
When
selfish
your
with
mind
your time.
evolves to the payback is
A lot of
just
people
habits.
don't
Keep
deserve
working
it.
when they doubt you. Let them go. Keep believing when no one else does.
Silence is the best answer to someone who
Because
doesn't
one day
value
your
your
consistency
word.
will speak for you because you grew stronger. Every man carries scars. The lion
Fear
doesn't, but only the
is
wise
temporary.
learn how to use them as armor.
Regret
And you
is
should never
forever.
pain is not your weakness. Moving your body. It's your proof that you survived what was meant to
Excuses
destroy
make today
solitude.
easier,
Allow
but
Aurelius
tomorrow
doesn't
harder.
complain about the battle.
Discipline makes the
He
day
becomes not
harder,
entirely something
but
greater.
tomorrow
Be firm, but
is
not
easier.
lonely because the top is strong but calm. It's lonely because the fake
Don't
silent
give
by
in.
focus. Your
You
energy
are
must
close
be
to
remain
your
strength,
strength.
discipline, not desperation.
Real
lions
lions
move
move
quietly,
quietly,
calm to reach greatness.
Sometimes being alone is the best medicine to your
Remember,
soul.
that's the perfect position to rise again. The power of emotional the inner
Your
fortress.
future
They'll
needs you.
interpret your build an inner
Your past
is not
doesn't.
found in your silence as judgment, but in control over your standards as pride.
Don't get burned
The
twice by
narcissist
the
is none
same
of those
flame.
untrue stems from their lack of emotional discipline. Learned that peace and progress to their
Worrying about losing is losing before you begin.
Before reacting, and who was nearly power. The
We fall,
time someone tries
we
to
break,
provoke you. Machiavelli
we
taught
fail.
that men are quicker to offend
then we
detach
rise,
instead of defend and injures
we
them.
heal,
Smile instead of
we
explaining.
overcome.
Because help
But
breeds
this is a
obligation, and
It's
obligation breeds resentment.
Sacrifice a
When
few
your
years
success
of
benefits
comfort
emotion,
for
discipline is freedom in
decades of
disguise.
freedom.
But the moment it reminds
It's
them
the
of
art
their
of doing
dependence
what must
means
be
you
done.
no longer breed energy.
Have
Even when you
patience
don't
with
feel like
those
doing
who
humiliates their
All
excuse.
things
Comfort
are
is slow and
difficult
predictable. Your
before you
ambition
become
and whispers in your
easy.
ears, telling you to rest. And that victory becomes
While the world moves
Hardship
past you.
often
So
prepares,
don't
and
get
good
more
men are
first
created in
react.
comfort. Expect
For an
silence.
extraordinary
Strong men
destiny.
are forged in
Expect
consistency
without
losing wisdom. Every morning, your face
Positive
is too
thinking
pass.
will let you do
An easy
everything
one that leads
better
nowhere.
than negative thinking
And the hard
will.
one that leads to everything. You fear take the hard path.
The only real
walk it
mistake
with pride.
is the one from which
Discipline is
you
not
learn
punishment.
nothing.
Those who understand its protection becomes a prison. It guards your vision.
Don't let
from
yesterday
distraction.
take up too
Trust
much
again.
of today.
Stop it builds a mind that obeys you. You start observing people's
If you get tired,
consistency instead of their
learn
charm.
to rest.
You pay
Not to
attention to
quit.
patterns. Let results speak. They can't be argued. You value effort over
The
words.
two most
Detach from
important
validation.
days in your
Rebuild
life
trust this way. You don't need to be
are the
no
day
longer
you are
naive.
born
It's you only need to
and the
keep
day
walking
you
your
find
path.
out
You don't lose
why.
your empathy. Expect pair it with discernment. When people
You
fall
don't
away,
lose discipline.
Your
This
past is a
nature
place to
protect your
learn
life
and
greatness.
grow.
That's how
Because
you
not a
rise
place
above.
to
It's not a
live.
destination
Don't
by
announce it.
becoming
It's
you
you
live
live
it, but by becoming wise.
It's how you carry yourself
when no one's watching.
The art of emotional alchemy. It's
Trust
the
it.
5 a.m. alarm.
Just great
It's the lonely
things
work.
take
Every
time.
time you realize something, the quiet nights of focus while
was
others
never
party.
emotional
Versus
alchemy.
them. That's where greatness hides. It was always you versus who you used. In moments no one claps for. Was not how to detach. You are what you repeatedly do. Untouchable. They excellence is not an act to awaken men to react, but a habit to where you once had opened. And if you keep showing up, and you no longer hate you'll wake up one day. Action is the opposite in the life you once prayed for. The truly powerful the code of self-mastery becomes your training ground. To master life, and you must first master self. Emotional detachment before you conquer the world. It's clarity. Why did this happen? You must conquer your reactions. Feeling. What did this about your impulses? By what you feel. You realize your mind. The Stoic origin self-mastery begins with awareness. The Stoics called it seeing your weaknesses without judgment, peaceful, but freedom. Your strengths without arrogance no longer exist in it. Marcus Aurelius, what you deny. Greatest empire to self. You can't grow what you avoid. His private notes. Observe yourself like a soldier studies an enemy, not outside of it. With honesty and precision. Realize this. What triggers you controls you. That's emotional. So instead of reacting, you start reflecting. Control betrayal. Ask yourself, with old friends, why does this bother me? What does this reveal about you? You take away the moment you start asking those questions. Chaos. The man who can't take back your power be defeated. It's reinvention. Signs you're losing control. You start living deliberately. You know you're emotionally dependent. You choose who deserves your time. Someone's silence disturbs your peace. And the beautiful someone's approval determines your confidence. You no longer seek relationships. Someone's betrayal consumes your focus. You build them from wholeness. That slavery of the soul. You no longer fear losing people. You may appear free, you can never lose yourself again. But your mind is chained to external validation. That's the essence of Stoic independence. The path to becoming untouchable begins with awareness and feel complete. Notice what triggers you, then the question why it has that power. Becoming unreachable. Usually, the narcissist's greatest fear is not your anger, it's your indifference. The Machiavellian art of realizing that nothing they say or do can touch you anymore. The Machiavellian man is an observer. You've become unreachable. He doesn't speak to fill silence. Not because you're cold, to measure people, but because you've transcended the level where their games not to agree, but to detect intent. You stop reacting to gossip. He knows that every emotion revealed is a tool that can be used against him. You don't chase closure, so he smiles strategically, reveals selectively, you don't seek justice, and acts deliberately. Your calmness is the justice. To the untrained eye, they might try to get your attention again. Through the wise, curiosity, he looks in control, or even new relationships. Because control is power, and emotion but your response is silence. Never let them see you've learned that every time you respond, never let them read what excites you escaped from. Mystery is not manipulation, not avoidance, it's protection. It's evolution. How to practice detachment where your energy no longer vibrates at the frequency of their chaos. Pause that's when you know you've truly won, when the moment no longer stirs emotion, stimulus and your response no longer needs explanation. Without labeling. Stoic relationships. When someone betrays you, losing yourself, don't call them evil. When you eventually love again, this simple reframe removes the emotional sting. You'll love slower, wiser, expect deeper, impermanence, not out of need, but people, out of abundance. Emotions and situations you'll know that healthy transient. Love doesn't demand you shrink attachment yourself. To anything temporary it doesn't punish suffering. Your emotions or weaponize your empathy. Inner rituals. It honors your boundaries and celebrates your growth. Journaling. These remind you that your red flags from within, not because you're paranoid or approval, but because you're awake. Kill the need for closure. And you'll walk away at the first sign of manipulation. You don't need explanations from those not in anger, but in self-respect. Their actions were the explanation. That's the Stoic form of love. Emotional detachment is not equal to emotional dependency. To care without attachment is mastery. You care without clinging. You can love deeply, but not desperately. But you never kneel. You can forgive freely, because you've already survived the storm. And now you understand the value of peace. You feel the emotion, but you don't become the emotion. The ultimate Stoic lesson. You let pain pass through the inner world, not define you. Epictetus it's like standing in the eye of the storm. You see chaos unmoved. That's the art of inner sovereignty. And the man who masters it becomes impossible to manipulate, because nothing external can reach him anymore. 10. The Stoic way: trust no one, respect all. At the highest level of awareness, you stop swinging between extremes. You neither trust blindly nor suspect endlessly. You simply observe. That is the essence of Stoic wisdom, balance. The paradox of human nature. Every human carries both loyalty and envy, honesty and deceit. The same man who praises you today may resent you tomorrow, not because he changed, but because circumstances did. So the wise man doesn't rely on human consistency, he relies on his own discernment. Trust is earned slowly, lost quickly, and rarely regained. Therefore, trust no one completely, not out of fear, but out of realism. Respect everyone, because respect costs you nothing but grants you everything: clarity, peace, and control. The Stoic code of conduct. Be kind, but guarded. Kindness disarms enemies, but transparency empowers them. Give warmth, not your weapon. Observe motives, not words. People reveal themselves not through promises. A man's history predicts his loyalty better than his vocabulary. Stay grounded in solitude. The moment your peace depends on others, you're vulnerable. Keep solitude as your sanctuary, the place where no one's opinion echoes louder than your inner voice. Anticipate betrayal. Expecting betrayal isn't paranoia, it's preparation. It keeps your emotions ready but your soul steady. Forgiveness frees you, but forgetting arms them. As Marcus Aurelius wrote. But he never lets it poison his soul. In a sleeping world, it is still attachment. You don't need to isolate yourself. You need awareness, the ability to see clearly without judgment. Walk through the world awake. Smile, but observe. Help, but don't depend. Love, but stay grounded. Because trust without caution is weakness. Caution without compassion is cynicism. And the Stoic path lives between those two, power with peace. Final reflection. The journey from naivety to wisdom is painful, but necessary. You'll lose friends. You'll face envy. You'll stand alone more times than you expected. But in that solitude, you'll meet the only yourself. Once you learn to move through life with detached compassion, guarded kindness, and unshakable calm, you reach a rare level of freedom. You'll no longer fear betrayal, because you'll expect it. You'll no longer crave validation, because you'll validate yourself.